News this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. CCJ halts extradition proceedings, grants MOHAMED'S interim stay. The main event is yet to come. NANDLALL pushes back on CCJ stay HYSTERIA in MOHAMED'S extradition case. QUAMINA guest house destroyed. Owner recounts early morning fire. Ministry of Health, with support from Mount Sinai, launched program ECHO, 150 communities to benefit. And in sport, good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Wednesday, 25th March 2026 edition of the HGP Nightly News. A dramatic turn tonight in the high-profile extradition case involving Sidi businessman Azruddin Mohammed and his father Nazar Shah Mohammed. The Carbon Court of Justice has intervened, granting an interim stay of the ongoing committal proceedings, effectively haunting what many deem a high-stakes legal battle ongoing in the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Travis Chase opens tonight's broadcast.
The Carbon Court of Justice on Wednesday granted an interim stay of the extradition committal proceedings against Azruddin Mohammed and his father Nazar Mohammed, pending the hearing and determination of their appeal. The decision pauses the ongoing proceedings before Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman, where the two men are facing extradition requests from the United States over alleged financial crimes. The stay comes as the Mohammeds pursue special leave to appeal a recent ruling by the Guyana Court of Appeal, which upheld an earlier High Court finding that Home Affairs Minister Onij Walrun acted in administrative capacity when issuing the authority to proceed in the matter. In their filings before the Trinidad-based court, the Mohammeds argue that the minister's decision was tainted by political bias and improperly triggered a process that impacts their constitutional rights, including their liberty and the right to a fair hearing. They have asked the CCJ to set aside the Court of Appeal's decision and to treat their application for special leave as the substantive appeal, while also requesting urgent intervention to prevent the extradition process from advancing. The businessmen contend that the proceedings before the magistrate's court were moving at a rapid pace, with multiple consecutive hearing dates scheduled, raising concerns that the case could be concluded before their appeal is heard. They further argue that without a stay, they risk being committed to prison pending extradition, an outcome they say would cause irreversible prejudice and undermine the purpose of their appeal. The CCJ has since set April 21 to hear the application following a case management hearing earlier Wednesday. Meanwhile, the extradition hearings, which were previously scheduled to continue from April 7 to 10, had already faced delays after the court was informed that Azruddin Mohammed is suffering from dengue, supported by medical evidence presented on Tuesday. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil NANDLALL is urging the public to pump the brakes on what he is calling a wave of irresponsible and misleading commentary surrounding the Carbon Court of Justice's decision to stay the extradition committal proceedings against Azruddin and Nazar Shah Mohammed. Here is more.
Following the decision of the Caribbean Court of Justice in Mohamed's extradition case, Attorney General Anil NANDLALL insisted it is nothing more than a routine conservatory measure by a final court doing exactly what final courts do, and anyone declaring it a victory for the Mohameds is getting dangerously ahead of themselves. On Tuesday night, he made it clear that the government of Guyana intends to fight the stay vigorously, framing the Mohameds' family legal maneuverings as a calculated and relentless campaign to delay their extradition to the United States. After Wednesday's case management conference at the CCJ, NANDLALL laid out the state's position with characteristic bluntness. The government has opposed the stay, he confirmed, and remains firmly of the view that the appeal by the Mohameds has no realistic prospect of success.
We take such a position because we are of the firm view that the appeal will not succeed, that the appeal has no likelihood of success. And we respectfully maintain that position, the application for the stay.
What the CCJ did on Wednesday, NANDLALL explained, is what every final court across the globe routinely does when a matter comes before it, preserving the status quo while it considers the appeal. The court, he noted, must be seen to command the confidence of all parties, and issuing a stay pending its own deliberations is standard practice at the highest judicial level.
Significantly, the court emphasized a couple of things. One, that there is a public interest that the court must take into account in all its decision making. Secondly, that the court is dealing with extradition proceedings, which is a peculiar type of proceedings. Thirdly, that extradition proceedings must be treated with dispatch.
The court went so far as to issue what he described as an quote-unquote aggressive list of directions, setting tight deadlines for written submissions from both sides and fixing the substantive appeal hearing for April 21, with speaking times already allocated to each lawyer. The Attorney General said he's hoping that the highest court's insistence and urgency sends an unmistakable signal down through every rung of the judicial ladder, compelling courts at all levels to match that pace. Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Attorney General NANDLALL has served notice that the state is ramping up a sweeping campaign to seize assets, properties, and cash tied to criminal activities, signaling that a wave of high-profile forfeiture proceedings is already in motion. NANDLALL says the country's most notorious bad actors should expect more to follow. Here's that story.
Guyana is overhauling its approach to fighting crime, and the focus is firmly on the money. Attorney General NANDLALL has signaled that the state is intensifying efforts to seize assets, properties, and the cash tied to criminal activity, with a series of high-profile forfeiture proceedings already underway and more on the horizon. Addressing viewers on his weekly Issues in the News program Tuesday evening, NANDLALL pushed back against critics who challenged the state's decision to accept funds connected to sanctioned gold trader Azruddin Mohammed, who is currently facing extradition to the United States. The backlash, he argued, stems from a misreading of the law. The state, he made clear, has both the right and obligation to pursue criminally linked funds through lawful court proceedings, with every recovered cent flowing into the consolidated fund.
Absolute nonsense. I just gave you examples. Of different court rulings where the court says that the state must take the tainted money. And then you have clumsy arguments being advanced out there that the state can't touch monies from certain quarters because of sanctions. That doesn't apply to the state of Guyana.
NANDLALL highlighted growing collaboration with the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, CFATF, the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, and Interpol, partnerships through which the country is exchanging intelligence and securing mutual legal assistance to trace and recover hidden criminal assets.
And you will note that all these monies are tainted monies. These are the proceeds of crime. And courts have found that they are the proceeds of crime. And the state is taking it, pursuant to the various provisions of our law, and depositing it in the consolidated fund.
Dismantling that wealth, NANDLALL contends, strikes at the root of criminality itself. The legal framework to do so is already in place, he noted, citing the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, the Customs Act, and the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering the Financing of Terrorism Act as the pillars of this push. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
A historic Georgetown landmark has been reduced to rubble after an early morning fire ripped through the QUAMINA guest house, leaving a trail of destruction behind. Travis Chase is on that story.
The QUAMINA Guest House, a long-standing establishment located at 126 QUAMINA Street, has been completely destroyed following an early morning blaze. The building, which housed several businesses on its ground floor and stood as a fixture in the capital for decades, was gutted as flames rapidly engulfed the structure. Investigators are still working to determine the cause of the fire. The Guyana Fire Service has since launched a full probe into the incident. Owner of the property, Patrick John, who resides nearby, said he was asleep when he was suddenly awakened by loud noises. Upon checking, he discovered the building on fire.
My phone started ringing and my wife woke me. I said, something I'm in the hotel here, nice, here, nice. But we know it's a regular thing. People come and they start fighting with the girlfriend or the girlfriend fighting them, so they're nice. But I get up around to the window and peep. I saw the fire gulching through the hotel window. And I said, baby, get it, baby, let's go, fire. And we grabbed the 2 car keys and the baby and ran out of the house.
He commended the Guyana Fire Service for its swift response to the emergency.
But what was wonderful, by the time I could be out on the road, the fire truck and everything was already running hose. I don't know how they get there before I get out of the house. And they did an excellent job because they took control of the fire, not another building get burned or scorched or anything. They did a great job. I compliment them for that.
However, John expressed deep sadness over the loss, noting that the property has been in his family since 1964, having been passed down through generations.
Sorry, a lot of people lose a lot. The Cubans who come and they work very hard, pay their rent, they lost everything they had. You see, so it's a sad situation, but it's out of my control. It's not my right to really do.
The full extent of the damage is still being assessed. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned. We have more news for you.
We finance everything with Quartz Ready Finance. From educational expenses and those unplanned emergencies. Get it done with financing through Quartz Ready Finance. All you need to apply is a valid ID, proof of income, proof of address, and 2 references. Get quick approval and flexible monthly installments, plus credit protection insurance. Apply in store or online at quartz.com. Quartz Ready Finance. Ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Krishna Rao Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC, Manripo, East Coast, and Marara, or call 220-9624-629-4021 or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back. You are with the HGP Nightly News. As her tenure as Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana comes to an end on July 31, Dr. Paloma Mohamed Martin says 6 years of quote-unquote servant leadership has paid off despite challenges. Nightly News, in observance of Women's History Month, placed the spotlight on the academic and creative arts enthusiast. Antonio Day reports.
Professor Paloma Mohamed Martin stepped into the Vice Chancellor role at the University of Guyana without foreseeing the responsibilities ahead. 6 years later, her dedicated service included leading the Transition Management Committee before her official appointment in June 2020. She shared her journey during an exclusive interview with Nightly News.
To make successful students become successful citizens, right? That's fundamentally the purpose of the university.
Dr. Mohamed Martin emphasized that her successes were never achieved alone, but with support through the many individuals who behind the scenes shared her vision.
Much more important is the silent work, the work that people don't see, the work in the departments, the services. For instance, you don't see anymore people lining up in front of the registry in the hot sun to register to get into UG. Right? People forget these things that used to have these lines for days, right? Nobody has to do that. Now we've done things, you can get your certificate as soon as you graduate if you ask for it, or within a short time. You're not waiting a year or 2 years.
With a PhD in Behavior and Communication Studies, Dr. Mohamed Martin is a reservoir of experience with her academic pursuits at prestigious institutions including the University of the West Indies and Harvard University. Her expertise in strategy, human behavior, and communication has underpinned her success as an educator, researcher, and leader.
So we created over 70-something, I think 72 different policies that, created a system of how you treat transparently and accountably with everybody who comes to you in this situation.
During her tenure, Dr. Mohamed revitalized UG Center for Communication Studies, founded the Philanthropy, Alumni, and Civic Engagement known as PACE Department, and raised over $45 million in research funding through international collaborations. She has been recognized with numerous honors, including a Presidential Medal of Service and the National Arrow of Achievement, highlighting her influence both nationally and regionally. She aims to balance her career with personal well-being and wishes her successor the best, emphasizing the need to be prepared for future challenges. Dr. Mohamed is grateful for all the lives she has impacted during her tenure at the university. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Antonio Day will now tell us that veteran broadcaster Bobby Vera is celebrating 50 years in the fraternity. Vera says his approach to broadcasting embodies a balanced delivery of truth, often infused with humor and charisma. Skills honed through decades of experience has ensured longevity. Here's that story.
Bobby Vera, a distinguished and veteran radio broadcaster, reflected on his remarkable 50-year career in the radio industry, a milestone he treats with gratitude and humility. During an exclusive interview with Nightly News, Vera, now 70 years of age, underscored the significance of not only longevity, but also the capacity to own his own radio station, 104 Light FM, a rare achievement for radio broadcasters before and after him.
Share this experience with the world, share it where I now have the capacity and I've accomplished the ability to own my own radio station, which many persons in the career have not been able to do. So that is the most important aspect of me reaching this milestone.
Reflecting on the evolution of broadcasting, Vera highlighted the profound technological transformations that have reshaped the industry.
But the first thing you have to take into consideration is that technology has changed from when I started. When you look around these studios here, you don't see a turntable, you don't see a reel-to-reel tape recorder, you don't see a cassette machine, so it has evolved.
Despite this digital advancement, Vera says he has embraced these changes, continuously updating his skills to stay current with technological advancements.
And the good thing is that irrespective of advancing in age, what I've done is I've allowed myself to keep up with technology so that nothing that comes now is anything different to me.
Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of Multicultural Communications Incorporated, or 104.1 Light FM, Vera says that the radio's guiding philosophy is quote-unquote, educate, inform, and entertain, embodying a balanced delivery of truth often infused with humor and charisma, skills honed through decades of experience. In sharing his insights, Vera credits his success to consistent dedication and the development of a versatile skill set over the 50 years of feat few witness. He, however, criticized the broadcasting industry for failing to meet public responsibilities, urging proper grammar and clear communication. He also condemned the Guyana Broadcasting Authority for not training broadcasters, leading to ineffective announcers.
And I say it without any fear of contradiction, that the Broadcast Authority does nothing. They collect your money, all right? But people are not trained. So we have these mediocre announcers who may go to the university and do a course or a degree in public communications, but that's not all.
He advocated for a formal training platform for young broadcasters to learn the nuances of the craft, including voice modulation, pronunciation, and pacing.
People want to listen to you. They want to be able to understand you. They must feel you talking. They must feel the smile in your face. They must feel and understand that you know what you're talking about. You don't go and pronounce words wrong, and you don't go and check facts before you do things.
He did not hesitate to call out those who err, while equally giving credit where it is due, embodying a transparent and committed approach to this noble profession. To complement this 50-year milestone in broadcasting, a celebratory event will be held on Sunday, April 5, 2026, at the Pegasus poolside. Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
While developments is necessary and welcomed by a Partnership for National Unity, concerns abound in relation to the pace at which infrastructural works are being executed. There continues to be significant inconvenience, particularly for residents along the lower east coast of the Demerara, were highlighted by the party.
Due to the incremented and heavy rainfall, commuters along the east coast of Demerara, particularly in villages such as Futfuwakting and Pleasance, have to feel the brunt of walking and driving through water, stone, and loam, which poses a major inconvenience. Along this context, the Partnership for National Unity, while endorsing development and acknowledging road construction as a key government duty, the current process has caused unbearable hardships for citizens. This was expressed by Aubrey Norton, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, also a resident of Pleasance.
So I cannot be satisfied with what they're doing in Pleasance. And I am interested to see when they come to the market, if they're breaking down the market in Pleasance, because the road, in the market is in the part of the road. So I'm interested, I'll make my comments on that after they would have completed it. So it's a lot of nonsense and wastage of resources.
The opposition has consistently criticized contractors for their inadequate enforcement of health and safety measures, pointing at least one instance where this negligence resulted in fatal consequences. Nightly News shared the cries of residents who lamented the increased dust pollution due to ongoing works on the Ogle to Mahaika Road project.
They have to do something about the dust control. You can't breathe. If you get sick, yesterday I had to pay somebody to wash my building. I don't know who will reimburse me for that. They need dust control in Pleasance and good for acting.
They're taking the ice and pass through, they're skipping from here to there and everywhere. And left Pleasance people in the pressure. People get their business right, they gotta cover up everything.
APN News Member of Parliament, Psycho Andrews, has also raised similar concerns.
Residents on the lower east coast and east bank villages have complained about the delays and dust they are experiencing because of the road expansion projects. APNU is all for development. While development of roads is a fundamental responsibility of government, the process and experience citizens are experiencing are unbearable. We have lengthy segments of the road undergoing rehabilitation, and it creates lengthy delays in the flow of traffic.
Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thanks, Antonio. Join us after the break. We have more news.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Celebrate with us at Courts. We have what you need at the biggest season sale. Save with great deals and huge savings on select items store-wide. Get unbeatable values on TVs, new arrivals in furniture. Save on select bedroom sets, large appliances, free gifts, and much more. Shop now, pay later. Get huge savings this season. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offers end February 28th, 2026. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. You are watching the HGP Nightly News. The Ministry of Health has taken another step towards strengthening the school's health program with improved connectivity using Starlink to capture real-time health data. Marvin Cato reports.
Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, on Tuesday received 10 Starlink mini devices from the Mount Sinai Health System to support data collection and digital integration within Guyana's comprehensive school health screening program. During the simple yet important handing over exercise, Dr. Anthony said the new initiative is expected to significantly improve the efficiency and reach of health screenings conducted in nursery, primary, and secondary schools.
At the point where we're screening the children, we can immediately, upon getting that information, connect with our database.
The program, which started in 2023, captured children's health data, and these devices, which will be distributed across all 10 administrative regions, are intended to further strengthen the program. During school visits, the device will allow the visiting health teams to enter student screening data directly into a secure digital system in real time.
We thought that one of the tools that we can use is to get the Starlink to give us that connectivity. So the units that we have here would improve vastly the work, the productivity of the teams when they go out to different schools.
This advancement also guides decision-making and enhanced child and youth health programs nationwide.
Currently, we have about 80,000 children that have been screened. And already in interrogating the data, we are seeing that there are issues that we must focus on, and that has been very helpful to the Ministry of Health team.
Meanwhile, at the handing over ceremony, Dr. Rachel Vreeman, Executive Director of Mount Sinai's Guyana's National Health Care Initiative, underscored the importance of the collaboration in advancing system modernization and strengthening care delivery across the country. This initiative forms part of an ongoing collaboration between the Ministry of Health and Mount Sinai, aimed at ensuring that critical health data is effectively captured and utilized to better support children and families across Guyana, while building a healthier future for the nation's youth. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Project Extension for Community Healthcare Outcomes, ECHO, which was launched on Wednesday, was hailed as a futuristic step in medical training and information sharing for professionals across Guyana. Here again is Marvin Cato.
The Ministry of Health on Wednesday launched the Extension for Community Healthcare Outcomes, ECHO, a learning platform that will cater to all 10 administrative regions. During the launch, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said this initiative will complement what his ministry is doing, that is a holistic approach, balancing developing physical assets while simultaneously enhancing human capital.
But if we only do infrastructural transformation without putting in the software, so to speak, then it would not work as we would like it to work.
ECHO is a model that deals with tele-mentorship, where on the platform, a team of healthcare professionals transfer knowledge through the classroom to improve the skill set of healthcare professionals to revolutionize medical training and patient care through tele-mentoring, while enabling specialists to mentor local clinicians throughout Guyana.
One of the fastest way of doing that is to ensure that we can have this peer-to-peer kind of interaction of information. You might have a case somewhere in a remote part of Guyana, and you're a little bit uncertain how to treat that person. But here you have a whole community, a whole network of people who can support you.
This project is supported by Mount Sinai and caters to chronic diseases in its initial phase. A key aspect of Project ECHO is capacity building. It acts as a cost-effective, high-impact tool for training in underserved areas, reducing the need for costly, time-consuming in-person training. Dr. Anthony stressed that the model combines expert knowledge with case-based learning through virtual clinics, enabling rapid dissemination of best practices for complex conditions. The platform caters to the needs of 150 communities across Guyana. Marvin Keto, reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Guyana, up your cash. Over 100 winners. More than $2.5 million in cash and prizes up for grabs. Win cash every week. Plus a chance to up your cash to $500,000. And that's not all. Win back your grocery bill up to $20,000 cash every week. Just grab any Buster Turbo Energy Drink, Fruitopia, Oasis flavored water, Fruita, or Viva Sparkling flavored water. Look for the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana on Facebook or Instagram for details. Up your cash today.
STEM sits at the heart of oil and gas operations, where science, technology, engineering, and maths come together to solve real-world challenges. Embracing STEM builds confidence, talent, and national capability, and its impact goes beyond the energy sector. STEM helps protect our environment, improve safety, and support smarter decisions for Guyana's future. That's why oil and gas companies are invested in STEM opportunities for young people, because the skills we build today shape the nation we become tomorrow. Since oil production started offshore, oil and gas companies have been investing in the long-term development of Guyana. For more updates, visit www.oilnow.gy.
Do you live and breathe video? Do you love capturing moments and turning them into powerful visual stories? HGP TV is looking for a talented, energetic, and creative video editor/camera operator to join our growing media team full-time. If you enjoy working in a fast-paced media environment, collaborating with creative teams, and producing high-quality television content, this opportunity could be perfect for you. Send your CV and portfolio or showreel to carolfelix@hgptv.com or melody_piper@hgptv.com. WhatsApp 6571706. If you're passionate about media and ready to create amazing content with us, we want to hear from you.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio D. Here's what you need to know as we turn attention to news in Trinidad and Tobago. In Trinidad, health authorities on Tuesday said that there was no need for public alarm after confirming a case of yellow fever in a deceased red howler monkey. The Ministry of Health in a statement said that it's important to note that there are no cases in humans and that the yellow fever in the monkey had been confirmed following laboratory testing. Yellow fever is a viral disease spread by mosquitoes. The ministry is monitoring affected areas and encourages the public to minimize mosquito breeding sites. Currently, there are no human cases reported. Symptoms include fever, chills, headache, and jaundice. The ministry also encouraged persons who frequent forested areas, such as farmers, hunters, forestry workers, as well as those traveling to and from endemic countries known to have yellow fever, to ensure that their vaccination status is up to date. Still with news in the region, Ghana's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Ablakwa, has announced that the United States Congressional Black Caucus has expressed full support for its proposed United Nations resolution seeking to declare the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. According to the minister, the endorsement was secured during high-level engagement in Washington, where he met with the leadership of the influential caucus to rally support for the initiative championed by President John Dramani Mahama. The minister described the backing as a significant milestone for Ghana's global advocacy, noting that the Congressional Black Caucus had offered 100% support for the draft resolution. He emphasized that the development provides renewed momentum for Ghana's push for reparatory justice and international recognition of the historical injustice. The minister further disclosed that discussions also focus on building a more structured and long-term partnership involving Ghana and the African Union and the CBC. And finally, on the international spectrum, it is still not confirmed whether talks between the United States and Iran are happening. An Iranian military spokesperson rejected negotiations with a self-proclaimed global superpower, contradicting Trump's claim that Iran wants to make a deal. The US has not shared its 15-point plan for Iran, reportedly aiming at nuclear facility destruction and sanctions removal. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon killed at least 6 people. The Israel Defense Force says that Iran has launched multiple rounds of missiles at the country. It also says it carried out an quote-unquote extensive wave of strikes against Iran's underwater research facility in the city of Isfahan on Tuesday. Elsewhere, Iranian drones have been targeting Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. 7 fighters have been killed in Iraq, according to its defense ministry. Additionally, in a message posted on X, external by its mission to the UN on Tuesday, Iran said that non-hostile vessels would be allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, provided that they coordinate with the competent Iranian authorities. But so far, only 1 tanker has passed through, the BBC Verify has found. That has brought us to the end of Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio Day saying goodbye and do have an enjoyable rest of the evening. And remember to be gentle to yourself.
Let's now join Delwyn Neblett for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblett with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Wednesday, March 25, 2026. As preparation intensifies ahead of the 2026 CRIFT Games in Grenada, the minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, the Honorable Stephen Jacobs, recently visited our national contingent during a training session at the National Track and Field Center in Lenora. Team Guyana are enthusiastically keen to improve on their tally of 5 medals obtained in 2025. The team will be headlined by reigning CRIFT Games girls under 2400 meters champion Tiana Springer. Moving into bodybuilding, the Guyana Amateur Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation hosted their Battle of the Rising Stars 2 Novice Bodybuilding Championship at the Ramada Princess Hotel on Sunday. Shaquille Bob emerged as the overall winner ahead of Jonathan Netterman, who secured the over 176 pounds title. Vijay Rahim secured victory in the under 165 pounds category, while Ihemen Itopka secured the men's physique title. On the women's side, Weslyn Gonzalez, Renika Stevenson and Marlisa Osborne secured category victories, as Vanna Burnett secured the kids' fitness title. Moving into cricket, action took place in the 2026 Sherwin-Williams 2nd Division T20 Cup, with the Maltino Sports Club taking on the Diplomats at the Maltino Sports Club ground on Sunday. Batting first, Maltinos reached 217 for 5 off the allotment of 20 overs on the back of half-centuries from both Marcus Watkins and Nkosi Barker. When the Diplomats responded, they were bowled out for 113 in 19.4 overs, as Nkosi Barker also produced a destructive spell of 6 wickets for 6 runs in 3.4 overs. More in cricket action also took place in the 2026 Sherwin-Williams 2nd Division T20 Cup, featuring the Demerara Cricket Club and Ace Warriors at the DCC ground on Saturday. Batting first, Ace Warriors were bowled out for 73 as spin twins Kalon Calendar and Ricardo Percival combined for 9 wickets. When DCC responded, they reached 74 for 6 on the back of an exciting 31 from Jaden Dowlin. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblett, reminding you to stay in the game.
CCJ halts extradition proceedings, grants MOHAMED'S interim stay. The main event is yet to come. NANDLALL pushes back on a CCJ stay hysteria in MOHAMED'S extradition case. QUAMINA guest house destroyed. Owner recounts early morning fire. Ministry of Health, with support from Mount Sinai, launched program ECHO, 150 communities to benefit. And in sport, West Indies suffers a 3-0 whitewash against Australia. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.